there's one more thing that the Owlet users are hanging on to with their last shreds of hope. FDA will approve it. They are in the process of working with FDA. Again, look at the Apple Watches, look at the infant apnea monitors. If they ever get approved, first of all, FDA limited it to the most complex approval process. So there's like 2 or 3 options for a device like Apple Watch or Owlet to get on the market to be approved by the FDA. And in that warning letter, and it was amended, FDA made sure to tell Owlet that you don't get these de novo registrations. You will have to clear it through the most complex, complicated process that we have. And if they ever manage to produce a product that meets the criteria of medical device, it will only be approved for strict medical use for a very specific one condition that has clear diagnostic criteria. Potentially, hypothetically, in some future, it could be some type of alert for some rare heart condition. Maybe, but we're talking about 20 years into the future and a condition that would affect such a minuscule number of people and babies that it would only be prescribed, for example, to the babies born in a family where there's a hereditary risk of that. So never. Owlet, you can cling on to your unsecure, hackable Wi-Fi application that you're using, or you can just look at the reality, try to, really look at it. What kind of peace of mind was it giving to you before? Were you just replacing untreated anxiety with compulsive checking? Because I'm not in any Owlet groups, but I get to see what goes on there because we keep track on what's going on in the baby sleep world everywhere, and from their users online and complaints and everything. What I am seeing is a lot of untreated, unaddressed anxiety, and even in people who are in treatment for their anxiety, then this means that they need to go back to their doctors and say that the treatment is not working because they still have enough anxiety to go and buy an Owlet and then hang on to that checking compulsion because I don't know, it's the best way to describe it. It is a checking compulsion. And there are many, many testimonials about people obsessively checking. And then when their servers are down, like the whole Owlet world panics and people are having the actual panic attacks because their Owlet is not working. I mean, their baby is fine, but the Owlet is not working and they are like stopping functioning. So I would like to reach out to those people because they are being left out in the wind by the company to whom they paid really, really nice money. I would like to tell them to start looking at the reasons why was Owlet giving them peace of mind, to start working on those reasons, and it's going to be easy to get rid of it once they look into, why did I need to check that baby? Was I in a good place? Was I assured that I was doing the right thing? Or maybe I was so sleep deprived that I was out of my mind because, I was with a partner who has a job outside of home and, he has to sleep. So I was on 6 months on 1 or 2 hours of sleep unbroken. And, but that's what us mothers do. Of course, it's our job not to complain. So if there were all these other things that drove you to a place where you could no longer trust yourself, you needed to look at this little gadget constantly to reassure yourself your baby's fine, start dealing with that. Your baby will be safer if you start spending that money on treating those causes that drove you to become the victim of Owlet, because you became victim of a predatory company, and accepting that and then moving on. Move on. Join the safe sleep conversation. I don't care where you join it, but join it. In it, you will be reassured by all the numbers, by all the recommendations, by all the best data in the world, year after year. It keeps telling us, put your baby to sleep in a safe sleep environment. Your baby is safe. If you do not worry about being hit by a meteor every time you go for a stroll with your baby, don't worry about SIDS every time you put your baby in a safe sleep space, because the odds of baby suffering true SIDS in a safe sleep environment are roughly the same as the odds of your baby being hit by a meteor. Okay, so hang on to that. Go dive deeply in all of these latest studies. There has been massive improvement, massive data coming in from 2016, let's say, until now. Every study, one after another, showing us that the number of babies who have suffered any type of event, sleep-related death, and were sleeping safely is either zero or very close to zero. So we cannot say it does not happen, because it's a progression. The better investigated these deaths are, the more we are seeing that babies in their sleep, they are not dying in safe sleep environments. It does not, SIDS does not happen out of nowhere to all these babies that you heard that it happened to. What happened to those babies was that they were not sleeping safe, and not sleeping safe triggers SIDS. So please join the safe sleep conversation. People will talk to you about these studies that are coming out from the CDC case registry, from the National Child Death Review studies, from the AAP Safe Sleep Task Force studies. Get real reassurance, but this time real, from the real information. And well, most of us in the safe sleep conversation are not trying to sell you anything. Some are, but those people are, that's their problem. I'm not trying to sell you something for my sleep course or whatever for $300 or $400. And the only reason why I'm having this conversation is the light that Daniel's son has shone on me at one point in time, and I started caring about babies not dying on the internet. So that's the only motivation, really. And please try to reassure yourself, but not the false reassurance, not paying for a lie that it will tell you that your baby is in distress, and then you put them on incline or you put them in your bed or whatever, but they have the Owlet. And for 1 in 4 babies that use the Owlet, it will fail to compare to a medical monitor, and there was a study about this. So for 4 events that are recorded as truly respiratory distress or baby in distress by the medical grade monitors, Owlet will fail to alert 1 in 4 babies. So there's about 25% chance that while you are, bed sharing and putting Owlet on your baby, that the Owlet will not alert you that your baby is, suffocating under a pillow or whatever. So don't trust the lies, don't trust the marketing, trust the data, and trust the safety. Nothing beats safe sleep environment. Nothing protects your baby during their first year of life more than safe sleep environment. If there is one thing that should be on top of your worries and safety checks list from 0 to 365, make it safe sleep. Because in numbers, we don't see babies die from anything else as many preventable deaths as they are dying from unsafe sleep. And I know that people will often say that they understand the risks, same as with home birth. I know everyone's, I understand the risks. Most of these people are going into it, into bed sharing or into home birth, believing that they know that some risks exist, but it could never happen to them. But what the numbers are showing are that there's a really, really high risk if you do these things, if you're bed sharing with your baby in your bed, if you have a home birth in the USA. It's really, really something that you cannot avoid by simply wishful thinking. And I don't want anyone else to suffer what Danielle has suffered or what the unsafe sleep parents suffer, because these are preventable deaths. And when you've read so many reports like I have, and that word which comes up in those child death review reports, and that word preventable, and when you see it and when you see numbers next to it and percentages, there's a calculation, how preventable was it? So if it was adult bed and there were duvets and baby was I don't know, put on the stomach, well then it was, I don't know, 20 to 30% preventable, but still it's going to be classified as preventable. And I think that's the worst thing. And we need to start fighting all of these lies and reaching out to parents to say that, yes, you think you understand the risk, but do you understand the consequences if that risk hits you? I know that you want to believe and think that it could never happen to you, but if it happens, that's the word that's going to go with your case in the child death review. The word preventable is going to be there. So it's not the question of whether you are okay with the risks because you think they are small or they don't apply to you. It's now and between when tragedies happen is the period when you are taking preventable risks. Don't take them, please. Whatever you do, don't. So these are the two things. If you want the best for your baby, especially if you're pregnant, because I know a lot of pregnant people are watching your channel, Danielle, from the feedback in the group. So if you are pregnant, okay, right now, congratulations. All the best to you. There's two things to avoid, okay? And that's home birth and unsafe sleep. So please, okay. So yeah, car seats and everything else, yes. But these two things, like you've removed the most of the things that end up with that word preventable in the death review reports. Okay, so please don't do them. Whatever you do, don't do these two things. I don't care what kind of parenting method you want to apply. I don't care what kind of feeding plan you have in terms of whether you're going to be home cooking every meal or you're going to be just buying everything in the supermarket. No one cares about that, and the outcomes of your babies don't depend on these things. They mostly will depend on the medical care you are getting in your pregnancy, during your birth, and then after that, where you and how your baby sleeps. So these are the important things. These are the big ones. Put them on the top of your list, and good luck with the rest of your pregnancy. And then after that, just take it easy, because parenting is it's because I'm not just rational, I'm a very sarcastic person. So Karen has met my kids and she said that they speak fluent sarcasm.
In English, fluent sarcasm.
Yeah. So when I'm sarcastic, I'm going to tell you that parenting is a life sentence. Okay. So, so it's a lifelong experience. Don't put too much stress on yourself during just that first year. Just remember the big safety things, which is have a safe birth and have your baby sleeping safely. And then this one person somewhere in Hungary who is just randomly out there on the internet is just going to be a happy person. Okay. So do it to make someone across the world happy, please, if for nothing else.
I can never explain anything about the Owlet. So I'm like, like, no, because it doesn't tell you anything and it's not accurate and you don't need it. No one needs to get up and be looking to see if their baby's breathing 20 times a night. That's the problem, not the
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
So,
So if you need to be looking 20 times a night, you have a you problem, not the baby problem. So, but again, this is one of the news that is really hard to deliver, and people can get very defensive. And I'm not a very tactful person, but the people who are helping in the Safe Sleep group, there are some amazing people, wonderful people, and we always try to approach the subject with respect, because we're not out here to diagnose anyone's conditions or whatever may be causing them to be using these type of products. But again, we will ask you, why are you using it? What is your fear? Is it SIDS? Let's talk about that. Is it for this? Let's talk about that. Is it because you are so sleep deprived that you don't have any support? Let's look into that. So we will always try to respectfully address that. No one is doing this so that they can tell people that they're bad mothers or bad parents. We're interested in you starting to ask these questions, you starting to look for answers, because instead of that false peace of mind that you are buying from Owlet, we want you to, if you need to, seek help for that anxiety that is strangling you. We want you to sit down with your partner who is not pulling their weight, okay, to tell them that you need to be taking shifts during night to survive that worst couple of weeks of baby's life, so that you remain safe caretaker to your baby. So these are difficult conversations, but the people who are on the mod team in the Safe Sleep, they are really wonderful people, patient beyond any words. Okay, sometimes because I've had personally a lot of things going on. I didn't have so much time, but when I walk in and I walk into something and I'm gonna like, okay, I'm gonna tell you things, and then I don't have the patience to pack it nicely. Okay, so you need to hear this from someone. I know that people will be telling you the other things, probably with a lot more patience exhibited, but someone needs to tell you that this or this, and sometimes sometimes even I don't have the spoons, to be dealing. I'm like, please, have let one of the nice people pick that post or something up, because right now I can't with this. The frustration is real. Danielle, you will have probably felt it on a probably much worse level. You probably dealt with that, trying to reach people and not coming through. And you've probably experienced uh, the worst outcome of such conversations, where you try to reach someone. I know that you have personally tried to speak to uh, so many home birth attempting people, especially when it was a bad situation. I know that many times you reached out to people as a lost parent, and I don't. I assume that you were there when you tried to reach someone and you did everything you could, and it was not enough, and then you get the news that the person did suffer tragedy, and then you continue beating yourself for the rest of your life. If you said enough, if maybe you should have worded it differently. Maybe if you sent them another message or a different message, or just told them something else, I don't know, that came to you when you replay these conversations, because I replay them, that you did not do enough. So bottom line is, oh, there's, I don't know, we're saving a lot of babies, yes, uh, but the same way that I carry Gavin, I carry the ones that we did not save. and I just don't want anyone being in where you are, if it can be prevented, and these things are preventable.